And before you sit in the witness stand, face Mr. Gamble and receive the oath, please. You can come up here. All right.
Raise your right hand, please. You swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give the matter before the court today, the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? That's it. Ms. Newsom, could you please state your full name for the court?
Yes, Jenna Newsom
And where do you live, Ms. Newsom?
in Blakely, Georgia.
And do you know the defendant seated to my left, Trinity Pogue?
I do.
How do you know Ms. Pogue?
We
Okay. We have a jury here.
I'm sorry.
Microphone, tap it for me, please. Okay.
Speak
You just
louder.
stay a little
Okay.
louder and make sure it connects to the mic.
Okay, sorry.
How do you know her?
We met in 2020 at Miss Cockwood pageant.
And do you have known her since then?
Yes, sir.
Has she ever performed any service for you where you would pay her for services?
Yes.
What did she do for you?
She babysat my children and went on like day trips and stuff with us.
How old were your children at the time she was babysitting?
I'm going to object. This is just, character evidence in the sense of, she babysat my children and nothing bad happened. That's, first of all, is irrelevant. Well, it's irrelevant in generally, but under 404.
Mr. Lamb, before you go into a lengthy objection, I think maybe I should take the jury back out and let's find out. Because I don't want to have it. I'd rather get all the, if there's going to be objections to the testimony heard.
Yes.
All right, I'm going to let you step back outside for just a second. All right, what's your objection to the testimony, Mr. Lamb?
It's irrelevant character evidence under 404. Evidence of a person's character, trait of character is not admissible for the purpose of proving action in conformity therewith. Say, she babysat my children and nothing bad happened. I would trust her to babysit my children or whatever is coming. It's not a pertinent trait of character under this, with regard to the issues in this case. It's not a pertinent trait of character, which means it's not acceptable. It's not admissible. And even if it were admissible, we'd only be able to prove it by reputation, not by reference to specific circumstances or specific acts.
All right, Mr. Campbell.
It's not being offered for the purpose of character. Now it's being offered to be able to show that she has experience in being around children at or near the age of this child, and that she would have the knowledge necessary for first caring for the children, but secondly, being aware of when children are fussy or not, dealing with them when they won't sleep as they should, all of those type of things. So it's not being offered to prove anything in character. And I don't intend to go into great detail with the witness other than to ask her what I just asked her about. Did she babysit for her? How many times did she babysit for her? Mm-hmm. And really, that's the gist of that conversation with her, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Lamb.
Well, just asking her if she babysat for you. I think that it is sort of a backdoor attempt at putting character evidence in, but I'll stand on the objection as it stands now. Obviously, I'm not going to try to raise any further issue if the court.
404A has I looked at this before we got here, anticipating that there may be some of this. 404A allows evidence of a pertinent trait of character. What he's saying, he's not offering it as character, but I don't know whether what I don't see is what a pertinent trait of character offered by an accused is. But that is an exception to the disallowance of character evidence. And then I believe you can prove just general good character under 405, but that's not like specific instances. So with the limited proffer of what you're just wanting to establish that she's had experience babysitting, I'm going to allow that testimony.
Now, we'll probably ask her as a final question, did you have any issues with her when she did so?
Okay.
And her answer would be yes or no. But I'm not going to go into follow up about, all kind of care and, what did you watch her do and da, 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 da. I will tell you, I have two of these witnesses.
That would certainly be irrelevant to ask her if she did you have any issues with her, or you trust her with your children or whatever. That would certainly be irrelevant.
Is that how do I interpret 404A1?
Pertinent traits?
Yeah.
I would interpret this as if we have an issue before the court about someone who, whether he accidentally struck a nail or intentionally struck a nail, and you were trying to bring in evidence to show that the person was a skilled carpenter, what would be the purpose of that? Are you trying to establish character, that he's a good carpenter? No, you're trying to establish he had the skills and ability to most likely not have accidentally struck it or that type of thing. Here, because this is part of the issue of the case, Your Honor, a pertinent trait would be whether she has any child carrying skills or not.
And that may be true, that whether she has skills, whether she is skilled in childcare may be admissible under this rule. But then following it up with, did you have any problems with her? You trust her with your children, et cetera. Those are the questions that I'm saying would be irrelevant. I mean, he said that's going to ask. So
You can ask her if there was ever any problems with the care she provided for her children. I think that will meet this the pertinent trait character evidence, or pertinent trait evidence allowable under the character evidence code section. All right. Y'all want to take 5 minutes before we bring that jury back in? Does anybody need a restroom break?
Yes,
Okay. All right. We'll come back in 10 minutes. We'll come back in at 2:20. Yeah. Mr. Gamble, are you going to need that cord within the next couple of witnesses? All right, Mr. Gamble, you can continue.
Yeah. Ms. Newsom, I know we got interrupted. I'm going to try to not just start from the front, and I don't know exactly where we stopped. So I'm just going to ask you again. When did you say you first employed Trinity Pogue to be your babysitter?
We met her in 2020. I don't really remember if it was the fall of 2020 or the fall of 2021 that she first babysat my children.
And how many children was she babysitting?
I have two,
And they boys or girls?
one girl, one boy.
How old were those children when she began to babysit for them?
My daughter was 3 or 4, and then my son, maybe 7.
And at that time, it was in 2021?
Yes.
Okay. How old was Trinity at that time?
15, 16. I think she was driving, so I'm going to go with 16.
Okay. How many times approximately did she babysit for you?
Maybe 10 plus times.
And did you have any issues with her babysitting for your children any of those times?
No, sir.
That's all the questions I have, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Lamb, do you have any cross-examination?
just briefly, Ms. Newsom, you'd certainly expect her to be able to recognize injury to a child, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
I mean, that's part of what you expect out of a babysitter, right? If something goes wrong, they're going to recognize it. They're going to be in a position to do something about it, right?
Yes, sir.
You would expect her to take every reasonable measure to protect a child that was that needed protection, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
If there was a child being physically abused or grossly neglected in some way, and it was occurring in her presence, then you would agree with me that that would be a gross failure on her part if she just did nothing, wouldn't you?
Yes, sir.
Nothing else.
Any redirect?
No, yeah.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Newsom. You can call your next witness.
Jessica Whitaker, yeah.
Jessica Whitaker.
Yes.
Oh, I thought we had a baby.
Oh, I did too.
I don't think. No, Sharon's going to get her. Thank you.
Yeah, I thought he was still back there.
Ms. Whitaker, before you step into the witness box, if you come up here and face Mr. Gamble to receive the oath, please.
Please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Now, speaking to the microphone, because I know a lot of people speak soft and the jury needs to hear you, okay? Could you please state your full name for the court?
Jesse Whitaker,
And Ms. Whitaker, where do you live?
Iron City, Georgia.
And living in Iron City, Georgia, do you know the defendant, Trinity Poe?
Yes, sir.
How do you know Trinity?
She was one of my babysitters for my children.
Ms. Whitaker, I need you to speak up a little bit. All 12 of those folks are there to hear you, okay?
She was my babysitter for my children.
Okay, when you say she was a babysitter for your children, how long a period of time was she the babysitter for your children?
She started watching my two stepkids that I have in 2020, and then I had my own child in 2022, and she also watched her.
All right, going back to 2020, how old were those two stepchildren that she was babysitting for?
7 and 5.
And then in 2022, you had a child of your own.
Yes, sir. In November,
How soon after the birth of that child did she begin to babysit for you?
maybe a month old, maybe 2 months old.
How often, how many times did she babysit for you with that infant child?
A handful of times. She would help. Sorry.
How about the other two?
Anytime that we had them and they had like Christmas break, Thanksgiving break, any kind of break from school, she helped me out and babysit the 2 oldest ones.
Can you give me a number of approximation, how many times that might be?
I would say 10 or more times.
That would be for the 2 oldest.
Yes, sir.
And then the infant.
Maybe 5 to 6 times, possibly more.
And in all of those times that she babysit for you, were there any issues with her babysitting duties for the children?
No, sir.
That is all the questions I have. Guys.
All right, Mr. Lamb, any cross?
Yes, sir, just perhaps a quick question or two. Ms. Whitaker, if one of your children was being watched by Ms. Pogue and your child suffered an injury of any sort, what would you expect her to do?
Call me.
Okay. Would you expect her to call a doctor or an ambulance?
Yes, sir.
If she observed someone abusing your child, would you expect her to report it to the police?
Yes, sir.
If someone was abusing your child, would you expect her to do everything in her power to protect your child?
Yes, sir.
When's the last time she babysat for you?
Probably 2023.
And she started babysitting for you in 2020?
Yes, sir.
So that was 5+ years ago? Okay. Okay, nothing further.
Anything else?
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you, Ms. Whitaker. You're free to stay or go. You can call your next witness.
May she be excused, Your Honor?
Yes, sir. She's excused. She can stay or go.
I would call Megan Pitts to the stand, Your Honor.
Ms. Pitts, if you'd walk up here to the witness stand and then before you have a seat, face Mr. Gamble and receive the oath, please.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court today with the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Have a seat.
If you make sure you speak into that microphone, okay, because everybody needs to be able to hear you.
Ms. Pitts, could you please state your full name for the court?
Megan Nicole Pitts,
And Ms. Pitts, where are you from? Not where you're living right now, but where's your hometown?
Griffin, Georgia,
And where do you currently live?
Americus, Georgia.
And in Americas, are you attending college anywhere?
Yes, sir.
Where do you attend college?
Georgia Southwestern State University.
And where do you live on campus there at Georgia State Southwestern?
Yes, sir.
And where do you stay at? Where are you living at there?
I live in the dormitories on campus.
What's the name of that dorm?
Pines.
Did you previously live in a different dorm?
Yes, sir.
back in 2024, January of 2024, which dorm were you living in?
Oaks.
And how long had you been in college at that time in January of 2024?
Roughly about half a semester.
Were you attending college under any kind of scholarship or anything?
Yes, sir.
What type scholarship?
I had multiple, but the biggest one was President Jimmy Carter Leadership Program.
Tell me, what is the Jimmy Carter Leadership Program Scholarship? What does it entail?
It's a group of students that go through an interview process and they're selected from the incoming freshmen. And we are a service-based group that does community service throughout the year.
Do you have to have particular qualifications in order to be able to receive it, or is it just based upon the interview alone?
Particular qualifications.
What type?
You have to have a good grade point average and you have to be a good leader.
Now, when you attended on the Jimmy Carter Leadership Program Scholarship, did you meet Tiffany Pogue at any time?
Could you repeat the name?
Trinity Pogue, not I want to call her Tiffany, I said Trinity Pogue, I'm sorry.
Yes, sir.
And does she live in the same dorm as where you were living in that January of 2014?
Yes, sir.
Her room compared to yours, how close was it?
Across the hall diagonally.
And so not too far away?
Yes, sir.
You got to say yes or no, of course. Back on January 13th, getting later into the day and night, bleeding over into January 14th, which would be the early morning hours, which you might commonly still think of the same Saturday night, but getting into Sunday morning. Did you hear anything that got your attention during the night while you were in your dorm? Well, first of all, were you in your dormitory during that time period?
Yes, sir.
And when you were in your dormitory during that time period, how late did you stay up that night on Saturday, January 13th? Do you recall?
I don't recall, but I remember being asleep and being woken up.
Okay, when you were sleeping, got awakened, what awakened you?
A baby crying.
Okay, was it, can you describe, I know baby crying is baby crying, I guess, but is there any way you can describe as far as volume or anything of that nature?
It was particularly loud considering I was across the hall.
Enough that it awakened you?
Yes, sir.
Now, after you heard the baby cry, was it just one cry, or was it baby crying, or what was going on?
It was continuous and then eventually stopped.
Okay. Do you know how long you heard it crying before it ceased?
I don't remember.
And was this in the middle of the night?
Yes, sir.
Yep, that's all the questions I have, John. All right, cross-examination.
Good afternoon, Ms. Pitts. The baby was crying that night, loud enough at some point to wake you up right around 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, sir.
Is that about right? And you don't know how long he cried thereafter, but just until, I guess you said, until he stopped crying.
Yes, sir.
That wasn't the first time that baby had woke you up crying, was it?
No, sir.
Actually, he cried a lot when he was there around Ms. Pogue, didn't he?
Yes, sir. Every time.
Every time.
Yes, sir.
He actually behaved better and was calmer if, like, her roommate or somebody else was there that could help, tend to him instead of her having to do it, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
He responded better to other people than he did to her.
Yes, sir.
She told you at some point, or did she tell you that she had known that child for his whole life?
I don't recall.
You don't recall that? Do you remember interviewing with the GBI
Yes, sir.
agent over at I think I interviewed over the police station on campus?
Yes, sir.
Interviewed with Special Agent Joe Chestnut.
Yes,
Does that
sir.
sound right? And I mean, there's an audio recording of it, not a video. There's an audio recording of it, but there's also a summary that the agent prepared, which is, his note summary of the interview. Okay.
Yes, sir.
If I let you take a look at that for just a moment, do you think that might refresh your memory about whether or not she had told you anything about how long she had known the child?
Yes, sir.
Your Honor, I object to using refreshment of the agent's notes to try to refresh her memory.
But it doesn't matter whose notes they are. I mean, anything that if the witness says that she believes it will refresh her memory, then
I think she can review the notes and then make it if it will refresh her memory.
If it doesn't, it doesn't. Let's start maybe like right in here and read down 2 or 3 paragraphs. Just read to yourself. Not out loud. you have a chance to read over that?
Yes, sir.
And in fact, having done so, does that refresh your memory at all about whether or not she had led you to believe, led everyone to believe certain information about how long she'd known the child, things like that?
I remember her having conversations about describing knowing the child and helping take care of him, but I don't recall that particular conversation.
Okay, you don't recall a particular conversation where she said she'd known him his whole life.
Correct.
But you do recall conversations where she had talked about the child, taking care of him, and that sort of thing.
Yes, sir.
Where she'd seen him taking care of him away from where y'all were, away from the dormitory.
I don't remember.
You don't remember that? Okay. All right. Did you ever hear her express any opinions of her own about the child?
Yes, sir.
What kind of opinions did she express about J.D. Angeles?
They were never directly to me, but they were in group settings, and she would describe it.
Executive is not said directly to her. Are you saying it's heard through a group, but not from her?
I want you to clarify as to whether or not she heard it,
Yes, sir, I
not that she
certainly
heard it secondhand. Okay. And I do need you to speak into that microphone a little louder, okay? All
Yes,
right.
sir.
Thank you.
When I ask you if you had heard her express any opinions about the child, you said in a group setting, was it a setting where you actually heard what she said?
Yes, sir. It was in her room.
Okay. Not her talking to someone else and them telling you she said something. It's something you actually heard. She just wasn't talking to you individually.
Yes, sir. It was a group of people in her room.
Gotcha. Okay. So what opinions did you hear her express about the child?
She was describing that she didn't particularly like him.
It sort of seemed obvious from her interactions with the child that his feelings about that were mutual.
Yes, sir.
Nothing further.
Redirect.
No, Your Honor.
All right. You step down, Ms. Pitts. You're free to stay or go. She's excused. Is that correct? You don't have any objection to excusing her?
No, Your Honor.
Excuse me,
Oh.
sir.
All right. You can call your next
We
witness.
call Elaine Bro. I don't know if Bro is a Briox. I'm not sure how to pronounce it last name. Bro. I thought. Okay, thank you.
Ms. Bro, before you have a seat up there in the witness chair, if you could face Mr. Gamble and receive the oath, please.
Raise your right hand, please. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in the matter before the court will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Could you please state your full name for the jury?
Elaine Marie Bro,
And Ms. Bro, where are you from originally?
Perry, Georgia.
And are you currently attending college anywhere?
Yes, sir.
Where do you attend college?
Georgia Southwestern.
And are you living on campus anywhere?
No, I live in an apartment off campus.
Back in January of 2024, were you living on campus?
Yes, sir.
At that time, where were you living?
Oaks 2.
And in Oaks 2, did you have the occasion at any time to meet Trinity Pogue?
Yes, sir.
How did you know her?
We were in the leadership program together, the President Jimmy Carter leadership program together.
So you would have met her through that to begin with?
Yes, sir.
Did you also see her from time to time at the dormitory where you lived?
Every once in a while, yes, sir.
Did you ever see her to know whether or not she had a boyfriend?
Yes, sir.
Did she have one?
Yes, sir.
Do you know who he was?
I saw him, but I never knew his name.
You just saw him with her boyfriend?
Yes, sir.
Do you know whether or not they had there was any child involved in that relationship?
Yes, sir.
Did you see the child as well?
Yes, sir.
Did you ever see Miss Pogue where she was carrying that child with her?
Yes, sir.
Now, how far away was your room at the Oaks from Miss Pogue's room?
Right across the hall.
Directly across?
Directly across, yes, sir.
Back on January 13th in the late night hours, anywhere from 10 o'clock forward till January 14th, early morning hours, did you hear anything during that time period that was worth noting?
I heard the baby crying, sir.
What time was it when you heard that? Do you know?
It periodically throughout the night. I probably went to sleep around like 10:30, so I just woke up every once in a while and just heard the baby crying.
Was it enough to have awakened you?
Probably not. No, sir.
Just heard the baby crying.
Yeah, I just wake up randomly throughout the night, anyways.
Okay. You don't know anything else about that, though, other than the baby was crying.
No, sir.
All right, that's all the questions I have.
All right, cross-examination?
So the child didn't wake you up. You just woke up, but you could hear him somewhere down the hall, across the hall, crying,
Yes, sir.
right?
Yes, sir.
When you heard the child crying, was there anything that seemed or sounded abnormal about it compared to when you had heard the child cry before?
No, sir.
The next morning, let me back up. You said that you heard him crying maybe around 1 a.m. and then on and off until 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yes, sir.
So what you mean by that is when you woke up, you might still hear him crying if you woke up at 3 o'clock or
Yes,
whatever.
sir. Yes, sir.
So you don't actually know that he cried all night. It's just a couple times you woke up and he was crying.
Yes, sir.
And then about 6 o'clock or so in the morning, you didn't hear him anymore.
No, sir.
Then you got up at 9:30 in the morning and you didn't hear him crying then, did you?
No, sir.
The child cried often when he was there, didn't he?
Yes, sir. I think so.
I don't think I have any more questions, Your Honor, but I would like to have just one second, please. No further questions.
All right, any redirect, Mr. Gamble?
No, Your Honor, she can be excused for as far as we're concerned.
All right, Miss Bo, you can stay or go. You're free to go
Okay.
or stay. You're excused. All right, you can call your next witness, Mr. Gamble.
Yeah, I would ask for about a 15-minute break and
Okay.
discuss some things.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll be in recess until 3:05. All right. If anybody needs to step downstairs, Chet, make sure somebody goes with them.
No.
Don't need us. Okay.
Your Honor, we close out if we rest.
State the defendant rests. Mr. Lamb, do you have any rebuttal evidence?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. My proposal would be for us to have a jury charge conference, all the things that we need to do in preparation for y'all to give closing arguments, and that y'all start your closings in the morning.
That would be great, Your Honor.
I think that'd give people plenty of time to prepare. Ladies and gentlemen, the evidence portion of the trial is completed. There's a good bit of work that I need to do with the lawyers. They get to go over the charge that I'm going to give you and make any objections, and we work that out. And also, I want to give the attorneys time to prepare their closing statements so that they can have overnight to actually get their thoughts in order. It's very important to both sides, and I want them to be able to narrow down their thoughts and give a good cohesive argument. So I'm going to recess for the afternoon as far as you're concerned. I would like you to return at 9 o'clock in the morning, and at 9 o'clock, we'll bring you in and we will begin the closing argument phase of the case. All of the instructions that I've given you are still in place. You'll begin discussing this case once I've given you my final jury instructions in the morning after closing arguments. Okay? So with that, you are excused. Please don't look at that TV or that internet tonight, okay? Watch a rental movie. Yeah. Well, you can still rent a movie on TV, right? Yeah. Yeah, why don't I send y'all the draft of the charge? I've got some corrections already written on it, but y'all can look it over. It's basically a combination of both y'all's. We'll come back over, we'll go over that charge conference.
We will need to add, if I did not put the charge in about if the defendant does not testify.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
I
we'll
didn't know